Hey there, I'm Natalie and welcome to my YouTube channel, Natalie Core, all about realigning into the centre of you through the movement and practice of Pilates and Barre. So a lot of the videos I do are based around working around your core strength, and today's video is literally just titled core strength. So we're going to work all different elements of your core. There's going to be some pelvic lumbar, some pelvic stabilisation. We're thinking about working those deep abdominals. We're also thinking about working into your back body too. So fully encompassing what the core actually means anyway in terms of your physicality and the muscles of the body that we tend to really focus on in that sense. You are starting laying down on your back. So coming into a bent knee position. Today I want you to start with your knees bent. So you either go for feet hip distance and your heels are close enough, you can just stick at the heels with the fingers. If you feel like you need a bit more release in the low back, you're always welcome to take your feet wider. So your feet are the same width as your mat, then let your knees cave in towards one another. You can opt to have your hands down beside you or hands onto the cage. I always start with breath, so feel free to close up the eyes here. And we always want to think about that lateral side breathing. So your initial foundation to that is to inhale in through your nose, exhale out through the mouth to release. And in Pilates, we always want to think about breathing into the sides of the body. So breathing deep into the sides, let the ribs go nice and wide. Exhale as everything closes back in towards one another. Staying here for a few more moments with the breath. And I always say, if you don't understand lateral breathing, it honestly isn't something to concern yourself with. It is something that needs to be practiced in general. Inhale in through nose and exhale out through mouth as your starting point. That is the Pilates breath as well. But the side breathing specifically is about breathing into the sides of the body. So you feel that wide expansion, ribs go nice and wide. As you exhale, ribs close back in, everything sinks back down into position. So we're going to stay here nice and still for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Flickering open your eyes if they're closed. If you do go for that wide position with your feet, we do want to bring the feet back to being hip distance once more, and your heels should be close enough. You can just tick your heels with your fingers there. And once you've found that position of your feet, knees in line with hips, arms down beside you, palms nice and flat, moving into pelvic curls. I always like to move my arms so you can see what I'm doing if you're not quite sure what a pelvic tilt, you're not quite sure what a pelvic tilt is. So you keep your arms flat, but I'm going to move my arms so you can see me. If you need to watch, please actually watch me. Don't try and do it at the same time. You kind of don't want to be moving this way, moving the head to the side, so watch me first. So your pelvic tilts are when you inhale, your tailbone moves down into the mat, and you create that slight gap between your low back and the mat there. As you exhale, you really think about imprinting the low back down. So the lumbar spine is imprinted into the mat, your navel to spine, and your pelvis lifts by an inch. It's not a bridge, so we keep the back down. We inhale, tailbone down nice and heavy. The low back lifts into a slight arch there. We exhale, we imprint that low back into the mat, and the pelvis lifts by 1 inch no higher. You're literally rocking through the pelvis there, going back and forth. So once you understand that movement, come onto your back and start to join in. It's a nice way to start to bring some gentle movement into your pelvis, into your spine there. It's a good way to also start to activate that deep layer of your core. So when you are exhaling, drawing the navel down and slightly lifting that pelvis, it's that drawing of the navel down that starts to engage what we call your transverse abdominis, that deep layer of your core. So you have 2 layers. You have your 6-pack layer, that's your rectus abdominis. We're working layer underneath that, your transverse abdominis, that deep layer. Pelvic tilts are great for really waking up the whole of your core region. So we're working a pelvis, we're working a transverse abdominis, we're working into that lower back there as well, into your lumbar spine there. So really kind of concentrating on the main components that really make up your core in that sense. The next time you take an inhale to let the tailbone go down and the lower back lift, that's your last one in this particular position, and then we draw the navel down to the spine, the pelvis lifts by 1 inch, no higher, and bring yourself back to a neutral spine, that halfway point in between both positions there. We progress from pelvic tilts into pelvic curl. I always say the pelvic curl looks like a bridge, but it's a different technique. It's not a bridge from yoga, it's Pilates style pelvic curl, with all that contraction, that deep contraction of the abdominals. You can again watch me, but watch me first, rather than doing it with me, and then come into it when you're ready. So you take a deep inhale in to prepare. Now when you exhale, you draw the navel down to your spine like before. So you find that deep contraction, and we hold this contraction. So we draw the navel down. Now as we hold that contraction, we start to lift that pelvis. We lift that low back and we lift the mid back. We come up into what you might know as a bridge, but it's slightly different to a bridge in yoga, for instance. We're not arching here. We're keeping that contraction. We're keeping that navel drawing down to the spine. The chest is a little bit lower, so the back is a little bit lower. But we indeed lift the glutes. The glutes are also really going to work into your core strength as well. So abs stay contracted. You inhale to pause at your top range. You exhale to peel out from your mid back, low back, and your pelvis comes back to neutral. Keep the feet grounded, shoulders joined down, palms nice and flat. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, the first thing you do is draw the navel down to your spine. So you find that contraction first. That's the most important part. Keep that contraction now. As you lift your pelvis, low back, mid back to come up. With the abs staying contracted, the chest doesn't lift up high, the back is actually slightly lower. We try to find more of that posterior pelvic tilt, that rounding in the pelvis from the back there, but we do lift the glutes a bit higher by keeping the abs contracted still. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pin out from mid back, low back, pelvis comes back to neutral, and you inhale to pause at the bottom. We do 3 more like this. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale, think about sinking the navel down, imprinting back down, contracting abdominals to lift pelvis, low back, mid back, keep shoulders, hands, feet grounded. Inhale, pause at your top range. Exhale, pinning down, nice and slow control. Your mid back comes down first. Your low back comes down next. Your pelvis is the absolute last one to come down, and then you find a neutral pelvis and you pause at the bottom. 2 more. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, navel down, back goes down, find the contraction, lift pelvis, low back, mid back, pause at the top as you inhale. Exhale, peel down from mid back, low back, pelvis comes down last back to neutral. This next one is your last one, and we stay up in it longer. Inhale to prepare. Exhale for that deep contraction, the transverse abdominis, draw the navel down, imprint back down, then start to peel pelvis, then low back, then mid back, and you stay at the top this time, maintaining that contraction, making sure that the back is a little bit lower so you haven't lifted the chest too high and we haven't gone into an arch back. We're creating more of that round in the back, and we still want to scoop to lift those glutes up, grounding down to the feet, thighs want to squeeze and they just don't touch. Now from here we do a little drop the pelvis down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, but we keep that contraction. This contraction does not change. Your glutes will start to activate more, which is a great thing to work the glutes even more there. As you go down an inch, up an inch, we're really focusing on that core strength as a whole, working abdominals, working into your back body, into your lumbar by keeping that lumbar stabilization there, and working your pelvis too. Just for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lift the glutes in that last one, inhale your top range, exhale pinning down from mid back, low back, pelvis comes back down to neutral. Depending on how much space you have beside you, you can go into a t-shape with your arms here for your spine twist supine, or bend your elbows if you're a little bit more restricted with space, or if you just prefer bent elbows, it's not a problem either. If you're going with straight arms, bent elbows, palms are facing up to ceiling the whole time, not down towards the ground. Lift one leg into tabletop, other leg up into tabletop, knees in line with hips, heels in line with knees. You draw those shoulders down, shoulders stay down, upper back stays down, keep the arms down. When you're good to go, you want to inhale, move your abdominals over to your right, the pelvis will lift, the legs will simply follow. You exhale to draw yourself back through center. Inhale, move your abdominals over to your left. Again, the pelvis will lift, the legs will simply follow. Exhale, come back through center. So working a bit more rotation in the spine there, while also working your obliques into your waistline. Keep going as you are. So you inhale to go one way with the abdominals, everything else follows. Exhale, draw everything back to your center. And you inhale, go the other way. Then you exhale, draw it back through centre. So keep going here nice and steady. Now the spine twist supine, I really like to make it clear that your rotation, although important, is not the most important part in terms of the range. So you don't need to find a big range. We're not going down to here. Your mid-back and your upper back should really stay in contact with the mat the whole time. You want to focus on moving from your centre, so using your obliques to move you, so using that core strength, but without prioritising how far the rotation goes. So prioritise the upper back staying down, and to some extent the mid-back staying down as well. And moving from your centre, so moving from the waistline, using your obliques to move you. The legs want to dictate, you have to stop them, you have to be in control of your own body. The legs only move because your pelvis will lift as a secondary result to your abdominals moving. So it's abs first, pelvis will move and the legs will follow. With this one, the best way I can describe it for you in terms of a visual is bringing out a towel. So it's always your abs going one way, but the ribs going the other way. And by thinking about ribs going the opposite way to your abdominals, it will help you keep more of that connection of your upper back and mid back to the mat. So the minute your abs go one way, you're thinking the ribs are going in the complete opposite direction. Like when you're bringing out a towel, you have two opposing movements of your hands there, hands going in different directions. That's the same kind of concept we're doing here, by working your obliques more, the side abs, and control this from your centre, and get that nice rotation as well through the spine. Good, so keep going here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Since we started rotating on the right side, I like to finish off a nice balanced way here. So we finish with the last rotation on the left hand side. So you inhale to the left once you're there. Exhale to bring it back through centre when you're done. Releasing your feet back down to the ground. So when your feet come back down to the ground, they come back to being hip distance once more. Your heels, again, just close enough. You can tick your heels with your fingers for your chest lift. So you want to interlace your hands behind your head, elbows to your peripheral vision there. Draw the shoulders up, back and down. Keep the shoulders connected. And then take a deep inhale in to prepare. As you exhale, draw navel down to spine. You want to lift the head and chest by gazing to your knees there. So keeping that deep contraction. Inhale to pause it here. Exhale to release back down to the mat. So inhale to pause at the bottom. Exhale, you draw the navel down to your spine first, and then you lift your head and chest. So think about that deep abdominal engagement. We're working your core, obviously. So we're going to work your transverse abdominis. Inhale to pause it here. Exhale to release back down to the mat and take a moment of stillness. Keep your elbows to your peripheral vision the whole time. As you inhale at the bottom, you exhale, you draw navel down, you lift head and chest, and you gaze to knees. You inhale, exhale to release back down. So we're really thinking about engaging that deep flare to really get the core working strongly here. So 3 more, take a deep inhale in. Exhale, contract abdominals to find that spinal flexion, gaze into knees. Inhale to pause. Exhale to release back down. Inhale to prepare at the bottom. 2 more. Exhale, that deep contraction, navel down, down, down. Look to knees as you lift. Inhale. Exhale, release back down. We do 1 more, and this next one we stay lifted. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale, find a contraction, navel draws down as head and chest lift, and you gaze to knees. And you hold it here nice and still. And as you hold it here nice and still, you're going to bring your right knee up. Bring your left knee up, legs together for your hamstring pull. But we're going to start off our legs nice and straight. We're going to take our hands behind the calves there. This is our lovely starting position. We keep drawing the navel down. We keep the shoulders lifted, so we're contracting to lift, and we keep the head lifted also, but just keep chin from chest. It's not here, you're here. Now from here, you want to make like a book. So you want to have your pinky fingers together like a book, so not interlacing or on top of one another, but together. Take your hands behind your right calf. Lower the left leg down. You anchor the left leg down, okay? So keep the left leg down. Aim to have your legs straight. If you have tight hamstrings, you might have to have a stop bending your knees. That's also fine, but we're pulsing in. So we exhale, exhale, that's twice. And then we change as we inhale. So exhale, exhale, inhale, change. Exhale, exhale, inhale, change. Now when we're changing legs, the leg that's coming down is anchored down to the ground. It's not hovering off the ground, it's anchored down. Both legs are straight where possible, and all 10 toes are lovely and pointed into plant flexion. So you pulse twice and then you change. pulse twice, then you change here. Using that deep abdominal connection, using your pelvic lumbar stabilization, so keeping the low back down as you work your hamstring pull 1 here. Keep this going for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Since we started with the right leg in, we'll finish with the left leg coming in. Pulse, pulse. Then from here, bring the right leg back up. Don't pulse in, just bring it up. Anchor left leg down. Now you want to flex the right foot, release the head down, palms down beside you. You move into your leg circles. So your right leg is going to move across to your left, circle round and down to the bottom, over to the right and back in towards you. Goes across to the left, circles round and down, in, over to the right and then back in towards you. You inhale 1 circle, and you exhale the next circle. Your right foot is nice and flexed, your left leg gets down, your toes are pointed. So the leg that's up, the right leg, the toes are flexed, leg that's down, the toes are pointed, okay? You inhale 1 circle, exhale next circle, and keep the pelvis nice and still. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2. When your right leg comes back up, you go the opposite direction, all right? So right leg goes over to your right, it circles around and down, over to your left and back in towards you. Again, you inhale 1 circle, and you exhale the next circle. Working in the hip joint, so working your hip mobility, but working the pelvic stability, so make sure you're not rocking your pelvis from side to side. Keep your pelvis still, but still engaging those abdominals, so keep drawing the navel down to your spine. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, bend the right knee into your chest, let the right leg straighten down, anchor the right leg down, so you're going to point your right toes as you anchor the right leg down, bring left knee into your chest, extend left leg up to ceiling and reflex that left foot. So the right toes are pointed, the leg that's down, the leg that's lifted, the left foot is flexed, nice and flat. We go across to the right hand side first, left leg goes over to your left, circles around and down, over to your right, around and down, over to your left, back in towards you. So over to your right, circle and down, over to your left and in towards you. You inhale 1 circle and you exhale the next circle. And again, we're working in the hip joint, but we're keeping the pelvis nice and still. So pelvic stability, hip mobility, abdominal connection. For 5, 4, 3, 2, finish that circle, go the opposite way. Left leg goes over to your left, circles round and down, over to your right, and then back into on you. Same breath, in towards you. Same breath, you inhale 1 circle, and you exhale next circle. Keeping that left foot nice and flexed the whole time. Keeping the pelvis again nice and still. For number 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring the left knee into your chest when you're finished. Bring the right knee into your chest and take a nice little rock from side to side. Massage your back onto the mat there. Good, so once you have some time to rock from side to side, you roll over onto your right hand side. So roll onto your right hand side to move into your forwards and lifts. So as you move onto your right hand side, your right arm is going to be nice and straight underneath you. So your right palm is facing up to the ceiling. Now from here, your underneath leg, so your right leg stays in a nice 90-degree bend. So you actually want to keep your right shin parallel to the front of your mat and then a 90-degree bend there. And we're pointing, so we're flexing the right foot. So you're going to have your right leg come off the mat and it's nice and flexed here. And keep, so your left leg, trying to mirror you, your left leg is nice and straight. So your top leg is nice and straight, flexing your left foot. And you're trying to keep that left hip nice and stacked. So not worrying about just bringing your left hip forwards here for your forwards and lift. You can have your left hand on the hip as well. Movement wise, you want to exhale, bring the left leg forwards, lift it up, inhale down and take it back. So your left leg should already be hovering off your right leg as your start position. You exhale forwards and lift, inhale down and back. So you exhale forwards and lift, inhale down and back. You're going to feel that in your left glute. So working to your left glute there. Again, still focusing on the core element of your body, so working your core strength. Think about abdominals being engaged still, so keep the navel joint inwards towards your spine. Again, we're thinking about pelvic stability, so you shouldn't be rocking back and forwards. Keep the pelvis still. You're simply moving the leg forwards, lift it up, lowering down and back, but without doing this kind of action where you have no control over your body. So your core strength has to be an element of control here for you, because if you're not controlling your core and your pelvis in particular here, you will be rocking from side to side unnecessarily. So exhale forwards, lift, inhale down and back. And you should really feel that in the glute quite a bit there. So working into your left side glute. Let's keep this going for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Holding this last one. So exhale forwards and lift and just stay in there for number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and then lower it back, push it back. Now from here you want to straighten your underneath leg. So we're going to straighten that right leg. This top leg, the leg you're just working, the left leg, is going to come into a bent knee. So you want to have your left toes pointing down towards your right toes. So the toes of the top leg should be pointed down to the toes of the bottom leg. This hip is nice and open on the left side to stretch your glute for you. Now as you hold the stretch in the glute here in the left side, you're going to flex the underneath foot, the right foot, for your abductor lift. We exhale, lift the left leg up. We inhale to release down. Right leg up. Exhale, lift the right leg up. Inhale, release down. Exhale, lift the right leg up. Inhale to release down. As you lift the right leg up and down, we keep the left hip nice and open, so you're getting the stretch in the right side as you lift the left side. So exhale, lift. Inhale, slower. We're still thinking abdominal engagement. We're still keeping that pelvis nice and still as you exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Just another 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift that right leg up for the last one. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now you straighten both legs together for your side lift. All toes are pointed, so all 10 toes nice and pointed there. Hips are stacked, left hip stacked over right hip. You should be able to see your toes. Make sure the feet aren't too far back. They can be slightly ahead of you so you can see them, not all the way forwards here, but ahead enough that you can see them. Placing your left hand firmly onto the mat. The right side of your body should have a slight gap between you and the mat right now, and your legs start by hovering off the ground. You're squeezing your thighs together. Now for your side lift, as you exhale, imprint your right side into the mat as legs lift up higher. Inhale to release, legs hover, and the right side comes off the mat. So you exhale and you inhale, and you're feeling that in the left side of your obliques. The contraction is happening here. So when you lift the legs up, you're contracting into your obliques there, and you inhale to release. Exhale to lift, inhale to release. So working your side abdominal muscles, again, really focusing on the whole element of your core strength here. Number 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift up and up nice and we can, and stay there just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down. Bring yourself up. We'll take a nice little stretch there from the side body. You bring your right leg forwards and your left leg back into like a little zigzag. Your right hand's down. Bring your left hand up and over. Release into side body there. So after that, oblique base work, and hold there. Breathe. Nice little lateral flexion of the spine. Then we come back through center. Now you want to come to lay onto your left hand side. So as you come to your left hand side, your left palm should be facing up to the ceiling. We are starting with the glute one first, so your forwards and lifts. So your underneath leg, which is your left leg this time, your left leg stays in a 90-degree bend, so your left shin is parallel to front of the mat, and you have that 90-degree bend with heel knife knee, knee knife hip, and you straighten your top leg, which is now your right leg. You flex the right foot, and the right leg should always be starting hovering away from the left leg. We exhale forwards, we lift, we inhale lower and back. Exhale forwards and lift, inhale lower and back. And again, we're still thinking about that pelvic stability, so the pelvis should be staying nice and still the whole time. You want to keep your abdominals engaged, so you're still working the whole entire core strength there. So abdominals, we're working the pelvic stability there. We're thinking about the actual glutes being engaged there as well, so also thinking about strengthening your back. Glute work is always great for strengthening the back as a whole, so we're really focusing on the whole core strength here as we exhale forwards lift, inhale, lower, and back. Let's keep it going for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we look to hold that last one. So bring your right leg forwards and lift and hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower and bring it back. Now you're going to straighten your right leg underneath, and you're going to place your so your left leg underneath. You're going to place your right leg on the top. So your left leg is straight, your right leg is on top, and you're thinking about your right toes pointing down towards your left toes there, and you flex the left foot, so you're flexing the foot of the underneath leg. You're keeping the hip open of your right leg to stretch the right glute. You can always press your hand there as well, that's a nice way to keep it open. We lift the left leg up. We exhale to lift, inhale, so your duck lift as in you're working the inner thigh of your left side now. So exhale to lift, inhale to lower. So you keep this top leg nice and wide to stretch your glute. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Abs engaged, hips stacked. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Keep this going for number 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lifting your left leg up in that last one, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, uncross legs. Legs are together, point toes. Hips are stacked, right hip is stacked on top of left hip. Should be able to see your toes down the line there. So again, not too far forwards, but you can look back behind you. You want to be able to see them down the line. Your right hand comes down to the ground. Your left side should be lifted from the mat naturally as you hover your legs and squeeze your thighs together for your side lift, work your obliques. You exhale, lift legs up. The left side imprints into the mat. Inhale, legs come to hover, and then the left side is lifted once more. So exhale to lift, inhale to release. Good. Exhale to lift, inhale to release. And we're contracting in the right side, so working the right side obliques as you lift and lower. Let's go for number 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. On this next one, you stay lifted. So press your right side, your left side into the mat, and lift the legs up to contract into the right side. Hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release on 1. Bring yourself back up. Let's take a nice little lateral stretch there. So into zigzag legs, your left leg comes forwards, your right leg is at the back. Left hand down, right hand up and over into that side. Little stretch there and breathe. Just releasing. And we'll finish off with a lovely back extension. So from there, come slowly into your front. So you come into laying in front, your feet are slightly separated, but your feet stay grounded. We want to press that pelvis into the mat. We aim to belly bottom off the mat, so we work the pelvic stability, we work the abdominal connection there. Palms to thighs, gazing down. Inhale, lengthen to lift, head and chest. Exhale, knees down. You keep your gaze down, you keep your feet down. Inhale, lengthen to lift. Exhale to lower. This is about lengthening, working your back extensor muscles. It is not about how high you can lift. So inhale to lengthen, exhale to lower. Inhale, lengthen to lift up, exhale to lower down. Just another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You lengthen to lift on that last one. Hold it nice and still for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release down 1. Bring the hands beside you, push up into your hands and knees, sit back into your rest position onto your thighs there, breathe. Deep inhales and exhales. Walking hands back in towards you. Take a little interlace of the fingers in front of you, round your upper back and shoulders like you're trying to pull your hands apart. Reverse the palms to face away from you so your arms go a little bit straighter. Reach palms up to ceiling and release arms out, back and down. That is the end of your core strength Pilates session for today. So as always, I hope you enjoyed. Please give the video a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, do go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to also press that bell so you get notified each time I upload a new video on a weekly basis. Until next time, have a great day and I'll see you again soon. Take care.